as he was seeing the death and destruction of so many people around the world, a tragedy even greater or more personal than that took place for him. And that was in the late 1800s, as they had the fire that was around there. His wife was in the other room, and she was doing something, fixing one of the daughter's hair or whatever, and they were using wax or some kind of heater kind of thing for curlers, and somehow her gown got caught on fire, the wife. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, as he heard her screaming, he went in there, he tried to put the fire out, but she succumbed to the flames. She died from those things, and he was burned over his hands and over his face a whole lot. So when you see pictures of him and you see that big white beard, it wasn't because he wanted to look wise necessarily, because he didn't have a beard prior to that, but he couldn't shave because of the scar tissue and things that were on his face. And so he carried with him all the days of his life the loss of his wife, and then tragedy as a son had to go off to war also. Now, all of that was the precursor to this song that we're going to sing here. As he worked through the tragedy of his life, he said, "There's no peace on this earth. There's no peace in my heart. There's no peace in my life." He went through one Christmas where he seemed to reach out and try, and then the very next Christmas he said, "Forget it, I'm not even going to try." It took a while for him, in other words, to get his heart back in line. The following Christmas, this was about 3-4 years after his wife had died, he started to sit down as he noticed that the world was getting animated once again for Christmas time. And you may feel like this in some way. You may have lost a loved one, or you may be going through a trial that you go, "This is the toughest trial of my life." And yet everything around you seems festive. Why do I not feel festive? What's wrong with me? And the Lord changed Longfellow's viewpoint. My role in many of your lives is not to fix the problem. We trust that in the Lord's hands, but sometimes it's to change your perspective. And when we change your perspective, then it changes your outlook on life. As he wrote through this song that we're going to sing, "I heard the bells on Christmas Day." He said they're old familiar carols playing, wild and sweet the words repeat, of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And then he walked through his own thoughts and his own life and the despair that he felt in that third verse. But then the Lord changed his perspective, and now for 120, 130 years since he's written this song, since I don't have the exact date down here, to see that if we will put our perspective in the right place. Now, I chose this today, not because it was just one of the other Christmas songs, but Zechariah, we're going to see in a little while, was in danger of his perspective being changed to the negative, and the Lord pulled it back. Let's sing this song, and we'll see how all this fits together with what God's going to do in your heart and in your life and this Christmas, maybe for somebody that you can touch, like old Henry Wadsworth Longfellow touches us today, that poet from old. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat, of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And thought how as the day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day. A voice, a chime, a chant sublime of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Oh, and he felt those struggles. And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and it mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. It's kind of like the Lord sent that light that we're going to talk about today, a light that changed his perspective, a light that can change your perspective too. See if you can see the difference in what came out of his heart. Oh, then peal the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail and the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. Sing that one more time. Oh, then peal the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. For the wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men.